Digging back, when were you first exposed to Japanese design and aesthetics? When was that seed planted?
That seed was planted, I think, in New York City. When I did Dakota Transit, I had one Japanese artist on my staff, and certainly in the period between the two residences in Peru, I looked at more Japanese textiles and also spoke with my husband. We had this long-term dream to move to Japan, both of us. He was Peruvian and I was American, but we were both attracted by the aesthetics or our imagination of what Japan was. You know, imagination is very strong guide in pulling you toward a trip. Rightly or wrongly, you have this picture of what it's like and you want to get there and experience it.
What was Japan like when you got there?
Very orderly, very safe for the kids and for me as well. And China had been as well, but for a different reason. In China, touching a foreigner would probably get you killed because there were police and spies everywhere. But Japan was just safe for everybody, even for the Japanese. So that aspect was very refreshing. I mean, I can't tell you the difference between living in high altitude Peru, where there's a scarcity of water to begin with, and living in Japan, where everything has to be super immaculate.
What was the economic situation and what was happening in fashion while you were in Japan and the outside world?
Okay, what was happening in fashion while I was there was really interesting because it was the start of the deconstruction movement from Japan, making headlines through the world, through high fashion. I went to a catwalk show while I lived in Tokyo. I was the only person who wasn't wearing black out of probably 200 or 300 people in the audience. So I was doing this research of traditional kimono design against a background of Japan being very rich at that moment and very much in the spotlight for a totally different type of fashion that they were producing. So it was a big contrast.
Did you feel that people are kind of not interested in, I guess Japan has centuries of history and culture, but that there was a strong Western influence, and that what you were interested was kind of in the traditional culture, and what was popular was kind of everything but?
It wasn't even that. It was that they were breaking new ground at that time in fashion with the deconstructed stuff. So, yes, men and women were more or less wearing Western fashion, but they were moving it into a new Eastern Asian, specifically Japanese look, and they were quite self-conscious about that. So it was really a disconnect. The kimono was 2 steps behind.
And who were the popular designers?